You bring that up because a couple weeks ago, I saw a tweet from a wrestler, and he said that this podcast was like a seminar, a professional wrestling seminar. And then we haven't talked about it when it happened, but a couple weeks ago, this young wrestler got a chance against John Moxley on Rampage. His name's Mance Warner. And you got a bird's eye view, and it was so good to see him on TV with John Moxley. What were
Mm.
your thoughts on Mr. Warner watching him
I was very impressed
battle?
because he's got that whatever he's done and got to the point where people are knowing who he is. Don't forget anybody. I've said this before, but I don't know who can put up with my ramblings week after week. So I repeat things. Anybody in the last few years who's managed to make a name for herself in COVID, when there's not that much work going on, and unless you work for AEW or WWE or MLW or some form of where people are seeing you, you've had to try and make do with whatever shows are out there.
Yes, sir. Mhm.
And is it GCW are
Yes,
doing
sir.
their bit, and
Mhm.
so it's people that have made a name for themselves, and the two that come to my mind are obviously Wheeler and Daniel Garcia. Well, Mance has made a name for himself, so that's one thing. They've done an incredible job to do that. The second thing is now he's just got brought in and thrown on live TV against John Moxley.
Yes, sir.
So it's win-win-win as far as I'm concerned for everybody involved, and especially him, because he will have gone away from there with an experience that, oof, right? And
Mhm.
I was talking to John Moxley afterwards about, we sometimes I never do, but it's and he doesn't. He's like, wow, this fella did incredibly well. Mance did incredibly well, and he just great. I don't mind using this term. He said he's the kind of fella I'd wrestle every night of the week. So he's obviously figured out a lot of the things that we've talked about in previous podcasts. He's figured something out in a short period of time. I don't know how long he's been wrestling, but he's figured something out because everybody don't know what you were doing before COVID it and put a hold on a lot of things, right?
Right.
So you've had to try and pick the pieces up and figure it out, and in the last year, try and get your name out there and restart again, basically for a lot of people, and try to keep in the game. So he went out on live TV and did an excellent job, made a name for himself. That's our job done. That's what the core of it's. I know it's about us,
Right.
but really it's not. It's about our opponents, because everybody who's been wrestling, who's actually wrestled anybody in the BCC, has has got more attention on them. So we're giving our and yeah, you're getting getting thrown in the deep end because you're having to wrestle champions, and you're having to wrestle John Moxley and
Yeah.
Claudio and Wheeler now, and obviously Brian Danielson. Now, can you imagine as a we talked about whenever it was, me again having to face Fit Finley at 18, right?
Mhm.
That's the same kind of experience for these people. It doesn't matter what they've done before. Oh, what? I've got a match I'm on live TV live TV with Brian Danielson or John Moxley.
Yeah.
So wonder they don't just, we've had nobody yet, which is a great sign for the talent there. They
You've
have
had nobody
nobody
yet just leave.
buggered off yet. There's time, and I know I've been around times in England, right? I've been out. We mentioned that one time with Fit the other. That was a regular occurrence. People would turn up, see they were on with somebody, who's out, but what they would just
Right.
the nerves were too much, and you just don't see them again,
Right.
right? So that's I thought he did an excellent job, and he's hopefully he gets more opportunities. But he made a name for himself in one night, and people that in this day and age it's a great thing, and if he can keep capitalizing on that, wonderful for him. I'm happy for him. Good lad.
Absolutely. And it didn't take much luck to figure out that you would be a really good asset to the group we're going to talk about today, which is King Bookaz Court.